Hi, Jyoti.
Hi,
How are you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you doing?
I'm doing wonderful. Thank you. Thank you so much for joining our podcast series, and I welcome you on the board.
Thank you.
Yeah, so please introduce yourself. That I know you are a clinical psychologist and you are right now in Noida, but I would love to hear from you.
Yeah. So my name is Jyoti Glory Bernard, and I'm a licensed clinical psychologist associate. I
Mm-hmm.
practice online and as well as offline. I am located in Noida,
Yeah,
and I have 9 years of experience in the field of mental health with dealing with different kind of age groups and different kind of disorders. I
amazing.
hail from a small city of UP, East UP, which is Gonda. And yeah, I started my journey as a psychologist back then in 2013,
Mm-hmm.
and now I'm here.
Wow. So that's lovely to hear from you. I would like to listen a little bit about your journey. Like, when did you decided that you want to be mental health professional or a psychologist? Like, was there any motivation or any incident in your life behind that, or was it your interest since the beginning?
Okay, so I always wanted to do something different or learn something different.
Hmm.
Now, given the fact that there are few colleges which are providing course in psychology, a degree course in psychology. So there were two colleges in my city,
Mm-hmm.
and I was interested in psychology.
Okay.
So yes, I wanted to learn about it. So that's why I took it as one of the subjects in my graduation, and then I did my master's in psychology. So this is how I got into psychology. And when I started learning about it, I just got interested to learn more.
Yeah, I know how interesting it is. Like, I have a lot of friends who are psychologists, and it's a very good subject. The people who would really like to understand human being in very depth, I would say, like your behavior and all. So, as you're working right now with Elpis Healthcare, as if, like, if I'm not wrong, so
Yes.
I would like to understand what is your role as a managing director there.
Mhm. So LPS Healthcare Solutions, this is a different company. So this is not providing mental health services.
Mm-hmm.
However, it is providing the revenue cycle management. So I also have experience as a utilization review specialist. Now, what is that?
Yeah.
So yes, uh, I got into US mental health care in 2017
Mm-hmm.
as a UL specialist, and my work was not to counsel the patients,
Mm-hmm.
but to deal with the insurance 101 and advocate the case of the patients there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, because their healthcare system is a little different. It is all based on the insurances. That yes, if they need the insurance to pay, they need to present their case that they are genuine. Okay,
Right.
so there are people who are the mediators. So this is one of the departments. You are a specialist department,
Mm-hmm.
and I used to advocate for the whole stay in the hospital of the patient, so that the insurance pay the patient back when they are getting discharged. So this is that company,
Mm-hmm.
and I have my private practice.
Okay.
So as you know that I have 9 years of experience in the field of mental health. So now I, the psychiatrist and clinical psychologist or the psychologist, any
Mm.
mental health professional, they refer patients to me,
Right.
uh, and that is how my private practice is going.
Okay. So basically, you work privately also, and you work in the hospital also.
Uh, I work for this firm remotely, LPS Healthcare Solutions.
Okay. You work remotely for this.
Yes, yes.
Wonderful. That's amazing. I really like to understand behavior as I'm a therapist, and there is very important role of a psychologist in a human being's life. Like I have seen, they help a lot, and nowadays I think the practice is also being like very deep, not like before. जैसे
Right.
काफी मेरे फ्रेंड्स हैं वो गए हैं तो काफी सारा चेंजेस है अभी की प्रैक्टिस में और जो पहले के प्रैक्टिसेस थे वो राइट
Yes, yes, yes. So, okay, now I would differentiate it like this, that earlier rules were not defined because there there were no such courses like a training in mental health care or बहुत ज्यादा कुछ ऐसा स्ट्रक्चर नहीं था।
यस
अभी क्योंकि इतना अवेयरनेस बढ़ा, तो जब भी अवेयरनेस बढ़ता है किसी भी चीज को लेके तो स्ट्रक्चर अपने आप आता है।
राइट
So now I read about you that you are a healer, you're a life coach, certified life coach.
या
So, and let's say, now how does it work these days? पहले ये होता था कि ठीक है आप हॉस्पिटल में गए, अगर वहाँ पे साइकोलॉजिस्ट है तो उन्होंने आपकी काउंसलिंग कर दी थोड़ी
या
और मेडिसिन ले ली और फिर चले गए। पहले बहुत पहले ईसीटी का जमाना होता था।
यस
अभी भी कुछ हॉस्पिटल्स में, गवर्नमेंट हॉस्पिटल्स में फॉर सिवियर केसेस ईसीटी है, बट पहले मेडिसिन स्टार्ट होता है, फिर उसके बाद थेरेपी स्टार्ट होती है या फिर अकेले थेरेपी स्टार्ट हो सकती है। तो पहले ऐसा कुछ स्ट्रक्चर नहीं था। अभी रूल्स डिफाइन हो गए हैं। जैसे पहले अगर मान लीजिए आपके पास में कोई केस आता है एंजाइटी का, तो एंजाइटी बहुत कॉमन चीज है, ठीक है। बट व्हेन आई एम टॉकिंग अबाउट एंजाइटी, समवेयर आई एम टॉकिंग अबाउट अ क्लिनिकल टर्म।
राइट
एंजाइटी इज अ क्लिनिकल टर्म,
यस
स्ट्रेस इज अ नॉन क्लिनिकल टर्म, ठीक है। तो अगर किसी को एंजाइटी डिसऑर्डर है तो वो काउंसलर के पास नहीं जाएगा, लेकिन उसको क्लिनिकल साइकोलॉजिस्ट के पास जाना चाहिए।
राइट
जिसको रिलेशनशिप इश्यूज है, या फिर जिसको लाइफ कोचिंग चाहिए, या फिर जिसको लाइफ के किसी एरिया में कोचिंग चाहिए, वो आपके पास आएगा।
राइट
जिसको स्टडीज का स्ट्रेस है वो काउंसलिंग साइकोलॉजिस्ट के पास जाएगा, ठीक
आई
है। तो अभी एरियाज एंड areas of work, the designations are defined and
फाइन
more structured. And also mental health act 2017 के आने के बाद और ज्यादा structured हो गया। However, it is still in the process and there will be many more changes in the future, I think.
या बिकॉज I have a lot of friends like sometimes they are facing some problems and initially when they were going to a psychologist and it was like very kind of I wouldn't say it was kind of a therapeutic, but it was like more about communication and conversation and understanding the story. And then, kind of sometimes I couldn't resonate in the past, but nowadays when I'm seeing a lot of psychologists, specifically clinical psychologists and all, so now I have observed they work with the client in therapies also. They work with a lot of different kinds of there are tools which they use
Mhm.
initially,
Right.
like in the past it was not there, and even people are confused that when it is specifically kind of a taboo in India that if you say that I'm going to a psychologist, it's like okay, then you are not okay.
Hmm.
It's like you're
Hmm.
not fine, so you are going to a therapist or a psychologist also. So this is
Yeah.
like a very good awareness for people that anxiety or ऐसा कुछ भी होता है, then they should go to the clinical psychologist and all, because I have seen relationship issues होने के बाद वो psychologist के पास जाएंगे and then
Yes.
want work. So it's not people don't have that kind of awareness specifically maybe in India. It's really in a process. That's very right you say. And
Yes.
yeah,
Yes.
काफी सारी
So
चीजें देखी है हाँ या कंटिन्यू
So with me, my practice is kind of different. I have kept it a little different. So, for example, जैसे कोई मेरे पास अगर केस आता है, कोई क्लाइंट या पेशेंट, क्लाइंट स्लैश पेशेंट आता है, तो उसको अगर लाइफ कोचिंग चाहिए, फॉर एग्जांपल कि अभी मुझे लाइफ में कैसे आगे बढ़ना है, किसी डिसऑर्डर के साथ वो आया है क्लाइंट, ठीक है, लेट्स से पर्सनालिटी डिसऑर्डर के साथ आया, मेरा वहाँ पे काम खत्म हो गया है, अब उसको कोचिंग चाहिए कि लाइफ में कैसे आगे बढ़ना है, क्या करना है. सो आई आस्क द patient that would you like to see another professional like a life coach. So मैं इसे रेफर करती हूँ अपने केसेस बिकॉज आई लाइक द होलिस्टिक आइडिया ऑफ ट्रीटमेंट.
Right.
अगर पेशेंट को वेट कम करना है तो अब मैं उसे न्यूट्रिशनिस्ट नहीं बन पाऊंगी, वहां पर मैं नहीं बता पाऊंगी कि तुम ये करो ये करो ये करो. मैं जिम ट्रेनर नहीं बन सकती हूँ कि तुम ये करो ये करो ये करो जस्ट टू earn more and more money from the patient. I cannot do that. Yeah. So I like to refer patients to other professionals. इससे दो चीजें होती हैं, एक तो जो उस एरिया में ट्रेंड है, उस एरिया में सर्टिफाइड है,
Yeah.
उनसे उनको गाइडेंस मिलेगी. दूसरा मेरा खुद का नेटवर्क बन रहा है.
Right.
ठीक है. So you know that in this field networking is really important. So these are the two major things which I keep in mind always. And there is this fun story which I'll tell you. So as you have seen that I have worked for some universities as well in the past. So my goal was to make them aware that it's okay to come to a psychologist. There's
Yeah.
nothing wrong with it. Even if you have a conflict, not disorder, but a conflict, आपको कुछ भी इशू हो रहा है, आप डिसीजन नहीं ले पा रहे हो, you just go and talk to a mental health professional. So इतनी ज़्यादा अवेयरनेस हो गई थी that this is going to be a fun part, that it was a residential university and I there was a kid who came to me and she was like कि मुझे मेरी रूममेट बहुत परेशान कर रही है, मैं क्या करूं, आप बताओ. I was like हाँ क्या. And this was I was clueless that what should I tell. Then she said कि आपने ही तो कहा था कि कॉन्फ्लिक्ट होगा तो आना है, तो अभी मुझे कॉन्फ्लिक्ट हो रहा है मेरे रूममेट के साथ में, मैं क्या करूं. So then yes, there were 2-3 sessions and she was all fine. So this is how my practice is. Yeah.
Yeah, but this is really amazing, and like nowadays, this generation is really very aware about their emotions, their feelings, what they are facing. Because I have daughter who is 15, and she talks a lot about herself. It's like, okay, I'm feeling anxiety, I'm feeling this, and this is really beautiful to see a child evolving, because I did not have those kind of awareness when I was 15. I was like, okay, सबको होता है, tension है, it's very natural. You know, you even cannot, you were not able to talk also about what you feel specifically. But nowadays it's very, I can say, children are evolving and they are so much aware about themselves. Like they talk about sex, and even when they talk more about it, that also create a lot of confusion in them. That is also the part of their journey, which I have seen with my daughter's friends and all. But this is very good part which you said, that like children, they accept and try to follow because they are very open. And
Yes.
this is really amazing. Like I have seen this. And nowadays I have seen also a lot of internet influencers are there who talk about mental health, what is anxiety, which is right, which is nice. I really appreciate that. But sometimes it feels that it's half information, like uh, because I believe I will present what I walk. I talk, I walk my talk. So how would you feel about this? Like this all online internet thing is right now it's like life coach is very kind of they are
Yes,
here and there, and everyone is giving them themselves a tag of life coach.
yes,
Uh, I'm fine with that too, but this is influencing a lot of people, and there is half information. What would you like to say about that?
yes. So, okay, there's a question for you. How many days or months you had to spend to become a life coach?
How many days I have to spend?
To become a life coach.
I have spent a lot of years. It's not days. It's a years
Exactly.
journey, and I'm still evolving. I'm still work in progress. I cannot say
Yes,
that I'm done.
exactly. That is the point. Because you have spent so many years in becoming a certified life coach. You took a
Yeah,
degree for it. You spent a lot of time with the clients, okay, in treating them. Uh, but so, okay, this is okay for awareness. The influencers who are talking about mental health, that is okay for awareness. But they should be keeping in mind that there is a lot of public who is following them.
right.
Okay, in a way, they are seeing them as their mentor.
Yeah,
So they are following each and everything,
yeah.
what
I
they are doing. So they should not be getting into that, okay, I am a life coach or I am a counselor or I am a psychologist.
yeah.
I've seen many influencers doing that, okay, I'm available for the session. And they are charging money from people, which
Yes,
is wrong. There is the boundary,
exact.
and they cross the boundary. And this is wrong because they can do more damage to the person who is coming to them because they are not trained in it, you
Yeah.
know. Yes. So I think this is, I'm nobody to say right or wrong, but I think for awareness, for some sort of awareness, this is okay,
Hmm.
but not for that they start treating people there.
Yeah, because my daughter also watches this all reels, and I have observed, like मैंने खुद ने देखा है. I am not saying like I'm also no one to tell what is right and wrong, but the thing is that half knowledge damages more to people, and I don't know how many people have kind of certified degree, and this is this is like very much influencing right now to common people. जैसे सब लोग देखते हैं पूरा दिन, अगर आप देखो लोग रील्स देखते रहते हैं, तो काफी सारा ये सब चल रहा है. So that is what, yeah, बाकी
Yes.
whatever you said is right. Like there's a boundaries, and again it's like if you're saying that someone had written that you can come for session, then it's like a cheating for me at least. Like
Yes.
you cannot do that without having a certificate, or it's all also not about certificate, it's like genuine thing.
I
uh
mean, I too give their when my patients they ask me that what should I do here, I give them the alternatives. But I cannot call myself life coach because I know nothing about life coaching. I
right.
do not have any degree in that. I can call myself a licensed clinical psychologist associate, but no, not life coach. So this is similarly with the influencers. They should not be calling themselves life coach just because they think that they are guiding people. No.
That is right. Thank you. So my next question for you is, like a lot of people are nowadays interested to get into mental health industry. So what is your advice for them to go for first graduation and then um, do the next step, or how would you suggest them? What is your
Okay.
advice for them?
Yes, that is an important question.
Yeah.
So I'll give you an idea of what it was and what it is now.
Yeah.
So when I joined this field in 2013, so there were no internships, no training, nothing. I just joined a hospital in Delhi as a
Mm.
trainee, and there was 6 months of training, and then I was a permanent psychologist there, counseling psychologist. So I feel that there are many options these days. So what they can do is when they are getting into graduation, so they can, follow some internships or trainings just to, get an idea that in which stream, because psychology has different streams.
Dreams. Yes.
Okay. And they can, get into some internships or observationship or some kind of training in their summer vacation, and just to get an idea that what they do need to get to be done after graduation. So
Right.
yes, so after graduation, of course, masters, and without masters there is nothing. I mean, graduation, then masters, and then if they want to become a clinical psychologist, they can go either for MPhil or professional diploma in clinical psychology, or PsyD is also there. So the duration, the only difference it has is the duration, and the MPhils can teach as well as they can do the clinical practice. I have professional diploma in clinical psychology
Okay.
because I already had a lot of experience, so I decided not to go for MPhil because I did not want to teach clinical psychology. I just wanted to have a license so that I can practice. And PsyD is for 4 years, so it is the clinical, one can do the clinical practice and teach as well. With if the student they want to go for school counseling, or let's say they want to become a counseling psychologist, so they can do graduation, masters, and there are many courses like guidance and counseling,
Mm.
guidance and family therapy. So there are many courses like these, but they should not be doing it from Udemy or Coursera. Yes, yes, essential to mention that.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah, I know. Udemy has like created I know, like a lot of people learn from Udemy and they start them profession.
yes, yes, I'm a life coach from Udemy. So
Yeah.
yeah, jokes apart, I mean, they can take it from Jamia University,
Mhm.
okay, and IGNOU has many courses. There are other colleges, they have many courses, so they can take it up from there. And so a lot of people are going into sports psychology,
Mm.
organizational psychology, psycho-oncology, and there are many other streams. I mean, they can, yeah, go for. So all they need is to research a lot,
Mhm.
because at the end of all these years, they
Mhm.
would need money.
Exactly. Yeah. That is
They
very
would need
basic
satisfaction.
thing. Yeah.
So passion is good. Passion is great, because earlier I was passionate, and then I was, working for a very small salary.
Mhm.
And I used to work a lot. I was a hard worker. So later on, I realized that no, I should be getting money, because this is not motivating me at all.
Right.
So I started marketing my name and my practice,
Mhm.
started meeting people. started meeting the psychiatrist, because psychiatrists or psychiatric social workers, life coach, nutritionist, dietitian, licensed clinical psychologist, counseling psychologist, they work in a team.
Right.
So these days, this is also a controversial subject because they have a lot of tiff between them. They have a lot of, I think, insecurity. But I feel that it is always better to meet people and make your own network.
Yeah.
Maybe they can go for coffee and talk about their practice, and they can tell them that, oh, I work like in this, and let's work together.
Yes.
So I think it will be better for everyone, so the whole mental health community will get empowered like this.
Yeah, that is very right. And like in today's world, networking is playing a wonderful and very important role, I would say, rather than
Mhm.
wonderful, because that's what we are also doing. And
Yes.
and I also like understand what you're saying. So, okay. So I want to know one more thing from you, that have you ever experienced, like I have experienced in my life as a life coach or a therapist or a healer, like a lot of people misunderstand my profession. Like,
Mhm.
it's like if you're going to Falguni, then there will be definitely a problem. So this is kind of specifically in India, there is very less awareness about mental health also. So
Hmm.
have you ever experienced that kind of misunderstanding, or like I want to understand from you that
Yes.
people misunderstand a lot of mental health professionals also. What do you
Yes.
say? What do you want to say about that?
So there's this population who is coming to me for treatment.
Yeah,
So I give them like 10 minutes to explain them that what do I do
yeah.
and why have they been referred to me, because they are clueless. They're like, would you read my mind? Uh, would you be doing some lab test? And I'm like, no, I would be listening to you. And sometimes some of the, let's say, clients or some of the population, I would call it a specific population, who are coming to me, they think that, oh, I'm just doing a conversation. This is talking, which I'm doing, so they should not pay me this
Right.
much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is I have also experienced in my work. I'm sorry I'm interrupting you. Like, okay, if you're
No.
a healer, you're a light worker, you're a therapist, then you should not charge money. I
Yes.
That is kind of mentality I have also experienced. The population or the people who come to me, like, why you are doing God's work, and I'm like,
No.
yeah, I
Oh,
do.
I have spent lakhs and lakhs in my study. Yes, and a lot of time and training, and min I mean, I have spent a lot of time and I have given it everything, this
Energy,
career.
time, your like
Yes,
yours. It's very important.
yes, yes. And when I'm sitting in a session, so uh, uh, it is not an easy task. It's like a Herculean task, because I have to be actively listening to them, patiently listening to them, because there must be some sessions where all they are doing is talking, talking, talking. Okay. अब नॉर्मल लाइफ में किसी को भी, अरे कितना बोलते हो यार, चुप करो.
Yes.
You can say this, but when you are in a session, you cannot say this.
Right.
Okay. तो वो बहुत ही टायरिंग होता है. ठीक है, मेंटली बहुत टायरिंग होता है. और मोस्ट ऑफ द टाइम आप बहुत ज्यादा नेगेटिव चीजों को सुनते हो, बैक टू बैक, बैक टू बैक.
Yes.
तो वो ऐसे लगता है कि यू नीड अ ब्रेक फॉर एटलीस्ट अ कपल ऑफ डेज.
Yes. 100%. I understand.
तो इट्स नॉट लाइक दैट इफ यू आर अ हीलर तो आप अंदर से हील हो जाओगे खुद से ही. ठीक है.
Oh no.
यू नीड, हाँ, यू नीड टाइम एंड मनी फॉर दैट. And that is the first misconception which people have, की बात ही तो कर रहे हो, तो वो उस पे नेगोशिएट करने लगते हैं कि अरे आप इतना क्यों चार्ज कर रहे हो, 100 रुपए कम कर लो, 50 रुपए कम कर लो, like that. So earlier I used to do that, but now I'm like कि मेरा घर पैशन से नहीं चलने वाला है, या कंपैशन से मेरा घर नहीं चलने वाला है। या लोग कहते हैं कि तुम्हें काइंड होना चाहिए, नो, आई कैन नॉट डू दैट। क्योंकि ये काम है, आप डॉक्टर के पास जाते हो और पहले उसको फीस देते हो
Yes,
डॉक्टर को,
yeah,
राइट? वही रिसेप्शन पे ही आपको फीस देना पड़ता है। और एंड यू कैन नॉट से डॉक्टर साहब आप इतना चार्ज कर रहे हो, वो जितना चार्ज कर रहे हैं आपको देना है, क्योंकि आपको अपना ट्रीटमेंट लेना है। सो
right,
व्हाई दिस?
true.
And I think through this podcast, I would like to convey to other mental health professionals कि जो अपना फीस है आप वही चार्ज करो। हाँ, कुछ ऐसी पॉपुलेशन भी आती है जैसे स्टूडेंट्स हैं,
Right.
या फिर somebody is coming from रूरल पॉपुलेशन, ओके, या फिर कोई ऐसा है जिसका कोई साइको सोशल सपोर्ट नहीं है, फाइनेंशियल सपोर्ट नहीं है, तो वहां पर आप सोच सकते हो कि हाँ ठीक है,
Hmm.
दिस कम्स इन, ठीक है, ये कर सकते हैं। बट देन पीपल हु कैन पे, यू शुड बी फर्म टू देम एंड जस्ट बी असर्टिव एंड से कि नहीं हम इतना ही चार्ज करेंगे। सो दिस वाज द फर्स्ट मिसकॉन्सेप्शन। बहुत सारे ऐसे जनरली ऐसे लोग हैं जो कि नॉन साइकोलॉजी बैकग्राउंड के होते हैं, so they think that I read mind. No, I do not read mind. I cannot do that. ठीक है, तो ये काफी स्ट्रॉन्ग मिसकॉन्सेप्शन है, मिथ है। फिर उसके बाद दूसरा आता है कि तुम लोग को कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं होनी चाहिए।
That is very common.
हाँ, तुम लोग पॉजिटिव हो, तुम लोग पॉजिटिविटी ऐसे निकाल रहे हो अपने अंदर से, तुम्हें कैसे प्रॉब्लम हो सकती है? या फिर अगर गुस्सा आ गया किसी चीज पे, तो तुम्हें कैसे गुस्सा आ सकता है? या
Right.
फिर इफ यू फील लाइक वेंटिलेटिंग टू समबडी कि हाँ, नहीं तुम कैसे इतनी बात कर सकते हो, पहले मेरे बारे में सुनो। सो these आर द थिंग्स। एंड ऑल्सो मेडिसिन अगर लेना है, सो आई टेक एंटी डिप्रेसेंट्स बिकॉज आई हैड my father passed away last year, so I could not cope with that, and I took a break from everything, and I decided that okay, I can go for medicines. I should go for medicines because I'm unable to deal with it. अब
Right.
मुझे लोगों ने, काफी सारे लोगों ने कहा कि अरे तुम्हें तो सारी थेरेपीज आती है, तो तुमने खुद के ऊपर क्यों नहीं अप्लाई की? आई वाज लाइक कि ठीक है, जो कार्डियोलॉजिस्ट है, अगर उसको हार्ट अटैक आता है तो फिर मैं ये कहने लगूं कि तुमने खुद ने उसका ट्रीटमेंट क्यों नहीं किया, उसने खुद का ट्रीटमेंट क्यों नहीं कर लिया? सो आई मीन या, so
Yeah.
these are the few myths and misconceptions or perceptions which people have. Uh, like I see them a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That I see with myself also. Like people, the people who are close to me, they'll say, "अच्छा, you can't get angry. तुम्हें गुस्सा नहीं आना चाहिए तुम क्योंकि तुम meditation करती हो and तुमको problem कैसे हो सकती है?" But this is not right. Like we are human being and we also go through a lot of things in the life, and sometimes our own experiences also teach us to how to cope up, and that also we can give to people if they try to understand. But what you're saying is very right. I also have experienced this kind of things, like you cannot get angry, तुम कैसे थक सकती हो, तुम तो भगवान का, like people have blocked me for asking money. Yeah, because that lady, I think lady was there one or twice, ऐसे experiences रहे हैं जो, like they say, okay, you are the channel of Mahavatar Babaji, then you cannot ask for money, and you are doing this, ये तुम पाप कर रही हो. And I'm like, wow. And that, like, this happened once or twice with me, so I can really relate to what you're saying.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, it's very interesting. Like, so I want to know from you now, ऐसा कभी हुआ है कि कोई क्लाइंट्स से, कोई क्लाइंट के एक्सपीरियंस से आपको ऐसा कोई आहा मोमेंट मिला है या आपकी लाइफ में कोई चेंज आता है ना, sometimes like we connect with the people and the clients, and lot of times this happens, that some, like either you have been through that phase and people will come to you and connect with you for help, and sometimes you're already going through that phase and people will come to you, so when you are explaining them, you will get insight for yourself also, kind of. I have experience, so have you ever
Yes,
experienced?
yes, a lot, a lot. Because abhi practice, it is almost a decade of my practice, and a lot. Um, I would like to share some experiences. So I have never tried yoga,
Mm-hmm.
but there was a client of mine who posted a picture of some yoga posture. उसने एक पिक्चर पोस्ट किया था, एंड देन आई वाज लाइक, ओ काफी ज्यादा प्रोग्रेस कर लिया है, एंड आई already terminated my therapy with her, the course of treatment,
Mm.
but she is still in touch with me. So I got motivated and I started yoga.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, this week. It was hard for me though, but I took this decision and I was like, no, I have to start it. And so I have learned something about grief.
Mm-hmm.
और ग्रीफ को लेकर इतना ज्यादा थेरेपी है, मेडिसिन हैं, बहुत सारी चीजें हैं, ग्रीफ को एक डिसऑर्डर बना दिया है।
Right.
ठीक है, बट ग्रीफ इज अ नॉर्मल प्रोसेस। पहले मुझे भी डिसऑर्डर लगता था, okay, बट लास्ट ईयर मुझे ऐसा लगा दैट यू नेवर मूव ऑन फ्रॉम इट, यू ऑलवेज मूव ऑन विद इट।
Yes.
तो जब मैं क्योंकि एक टाइम ऐसा है, व्हेन आई डिसाइडेड दैट ओके नाउ आई एम ओके, आई स्टार्टेड मेडिसिन, नाउ आई विल स्टार्ट द थेरेपी अगेन। तो सेकेंड वेव में क्या हुआ था, बहुत सारी डेथ्स हुई थी,
Yeah.
और वो केसेस मेरे पास आ रहे थे। So there have been instances where the client was crying and I cried too.
Yes.
So ऐसा होता है that, and this is very normal. I
Yeah.
mean, it is not unethical. It can be normal, and there have been cases of, sexual abuse.
Yeah.
उसमें क्लाइंट रो रहा है तो वो आपको भी रोना आ जाएगा, बिकॉज यू आर एम्पथाइजिंग विद द क्लाइंट।
Right.
ओके, एंड यस, आहा मोमेंट्स बहुत सारे होते हैं। तो जब क्लाइंट आके बोलता है, पहले तो ऐसा लगता है कि अरे बहुत ज्यादा सैड है या बहुत ज्यादा एंग्शियस है, कैसे ये फेज जाएगा, बिकॉज वो मेरा भी एग्जामिनेशन होता है।
Yeah.
I still get nervous, when I'm going for the therapy, because I cannot be overconfident and then I, do some damage. No, I like to be nervous before going to the therapy. So I'm cautious about each and everything which I'm saying or which I'm doing. So ऐसा होता है कि एक मंथ ऐसा जाता है, अप्स एंड डाउन्स, वो अपने इमोशंस को समझ रहे हैं, इंसाइट आ रही है, and then after some sessions they'll come back to you, and then there will be some sessions where they will say कि मैम आपने ऐसा बोला था उस सेशन में, तो
Hmm.
अब मुझे लग रहा है that I can connect with this,
Hmm.
you know so वो, क्योंकि आप कई बार खुद भी भूल चुके होते हो कि क्या बोला था, बट क्लाइंट्स को याद होता है।
Yes.
आपको अपने नोट्स पढ़ने पड़ते हैं, बट क्लाइंट्स को याद होता है कि क्या बोला था। दे टेक इट वेरी सीरियसली बिकॉज दे आर पेइंग फॉर इट। Okay. So those were the aha moments in my therapy.
Yeah, because at least I experience this with my clients. Every case is a learning opportunity for you when, a lot of people come and still they go through the things, and when you are supporting them, holding the space for them. So this is like every client is, for me, it's like a learning opportunity. I learn, and I also understand a lot of things with them. And you said very right about grief also. Like in our world, modern world, I would say, grief को बहुत ज्यादा जज किया जाता है. But if you see, everyone has a grief, but they don't know, they are not aware about grief. And people who experience or allow themselves to be vulnerable, that is kind of uh, judged, I would say. Even मैंने देखा है कि it is considered as a weakness also in the human being. Like, रोना क्यों है, इतना सैड क्यों होना है, अच्छा जाने दो, जो भी हो गया वो भूल जाओ. But this is like escapism and defense mechanism and coping, or I would say escaping from your own emotions. So this is very
Mm.
right, you say that it's moving on with the grief. And this is really important to, I would say, learn in the life.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. And also, I have this theory which I follow,
Mm-hmm.
that and I tell my patients as well that okay, it's okay if you want to cry, it's okay if you are feeling anxious.
Yeah.
बिकॉज बचपन से तो ये बताया जाता है ना कि रोना क्यों है, सैड गंदे बच्चे होते हैं, गंदे बच्चे रोते, गंदे बच्चे गुस्सा होते हैं.
Yeah.
तो अब वो सीख लिया है टू यू नो एक बॉटल में बंद करके रखना है इमोशंस को अपने.
Hmm.
तो जब पेशेंट्स को ये नई इंसाइट मिलती है, दे आर लाइक, हाँ, अभी तक गलत बताया जा रहा था. वहां से वो हीलिंग, वो इंसाइट आने के बाद वो हीलिंग शुरू हो जाती है व्हेन दे बिकम वल्नरेबल एंड नॉट गार्डेड.
Yes. Yeah. So I have another question for you, that share with us your experience where the client's life has changed. Like you might have experienced those kind of
ओके,
experience.
क्लाइंट्स लाइफ हैज चेंज्ड और माय लाइफ हैज चेंज्ड.
आपकी लाइफ तो चेंज होती होगी, आई वुड अंडरस्टैंड के, बिकॉज यू आर ऑल्सो, दैट्स व्हाट आई फील, बिकॉज मैं जितने लोगों से मिलती हूँ, so I can never say that okay, I'm done with the healing or I'm done with the evolution. I am still evolving, I'm in the work in progress. but आपके साथ रह के या आपके साथ कनेक्ट करने के बाद किसी क्लाइंट की लाइफ ऐसे completely चेंज हो जाती है. You, like, okay, you are evolving, that you already shared that aha moments and everything, which is amazing. But now like, we would love to hear from you about this also.
Yes. So, a lot, many times, and it's like that experience when you get butterflies in your stomach. You know, जब वो जाने लगते हैं, जब सेशन टर्मिनेट होने लगता है, तो you just run through that whole movie कि कब आपके पास वो क्लाइंट आया था, किस
Yeah.
हालत में आया था. और अब ये फीलिंग नहीं आती है कि, क्योंकि वो गॉड कॉम्प्लेक्स नहीं होना चाहिए.
Yeah.
गॉड, कि मेंटल हेल्थ प्रोफेशनल्स को गॉड कॉम्प्लेक्स बहुत होता है कि अरे मैंने किया ये.
Hmm.
मैं.
That is yeah.
तो अगर 1 महीने तक का ड्यूरेशन है पेशेंट की थेरेपी का, ट्रीटमेंट का, या फिर 3 महीने का ड्यूरेशन है, जब वो जाने लगता है, सो इट्स लाइक द पेशेंट हैज डन द होल वर्क, आई डिड नथिंग.
Hmm.
वो एक हम्बल होना बहुत जरूरी है अपने प्रोफेशन में, कि आप इतने भी बड़े नहीं हो सकते हो, क्योंकि पेशेंट पेशेंट गया है उस इमोशन के थ्रू, वो अप्स एंड डाउन्स के थ्रू. जो थेरेपी में, ऐसा नहीं कि थेरेपी में आने के बाद सब कुछ बढ़िया बढ़िया लाला लैंड हो जाता है, ऐसा कुछ भी नहीं है.
True.
बहुत पेनफुल होता है थेरेपी का भी जर्नी.
Yes.
एंड पेशेंट को वो क्रेडिट देना बहुत जरूरी है जब वो जा रहा होता है, सो दैट ही और शी हैज द रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी ऑफ इट, that okay, whatever I have learned in the therapy, I'm gonna apply it.
Yeah.
Okay. So बहुत सारे ऐसे पेशेंट्स हैं, वो मुझे अभी भी लिखते हैं, मुझे टेक्स्ट मैसेज करते हैं. If they achieve something in their life, they call me that thank you so much. They post something on Instagram, or they will click a screenshot of it कि मैंने आपके बारे में पोस्ट किया, या फिर वो मुझे लिखते हैं या कॉल करते हैं या कहीं पे भी वो डाल देते हैं, and then I get to know
Hmm.
So I was working in this university, and I used to come to know through different students there कि
Hmm.
आपके बारे में देखो, यहाँ पे एक एनोनिमस ग्रुप है, इसमें ये डाला है कि आप अच्छे हो। आई यूज्ड टू बी लाइक ओके ठीक है, कॉम्प्लीमेंट ज्यादा मुझे लेने नहीं आते बट ठीक है। तो बहुत सारे क्लाइंट्स रहे हुए हैं। ड्रॉप आउट रेट मेरा कम है क्लाइंट्स के साथ में, 3-4 रहा हुआ है अभी तक का ड्रॉप आउट।
Hmm.
मतलब आई मीन क्लाइंट्स का 3-4 क्लाइंट्स ने ड्रॉप आउट किया, बाकी सबने कोर्स ऑफ ट्रीटमेंट लिया। क्योंकि मैं पहले बता देती हूँ, जैसे ही मैंने प्रॉब्लम सुना वैसे ही दिमाग में चलने लगता है ब्लूप्रिंट, अच्छा ये थेरेपी करना, ये थेरेपी करना, ये थेरेपी करना। एंड इट इज ऑलवेज टेलर मेड। जो पेशेंट का प्रॉब्लम है, ये नहीं कि मेरी ये फेवरेट थेरेपी है, वैसे मेरी कोई फेवरेट थेरेपी नहीं है। आई ऑलवेज यूज एक्लेक्टिक अप्रोच कि आई विल पुट इन ऑल द थेरेपीज जो कि मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि हाँ इस पेशेंट के ऊपर काम करेगी। एंड उनसे उनकी नीड पूछना, उनसे उनका गोल पूछना बहुत जरूरी होता है,
Yes.
क्योंकि उनके अकॉर्डिंग थेरेपी होनी चाहिए जो
Yeah.
उन्हें अचीव करना है। आप खुद की थेरेपी उन पे इम्पोज नहीं कर सकते हो।
Agree.
तो जब वो जाने लगते हैं, सो दे आर लाइक बस हो गया, खत्म हो रहा है। लाइक वी कैन स्टे इन टच। इफ यू रिमेम्बर दैट सीन इन डियर जिंदगी एट द एंड, तो वैसा सा कुछ होता है कि अरे अच्छा खत्म हो रहा है, ओके आई विल कीप यू अपडेटेड विथ माय थिंग्स इन लाइफ एंड व्हाट नॉट। सो
Yeah. And any patient who really touched your heart. No, sometimes kind of clients or patients come and they really touch your heart. Would you like to talk about that if you have experienced something like that?
actually all of them, they touch my heart because I get into therapy.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, so there is, I mean, I cannot tell you a single incident or a patient who has not touched my heart. All of them, they do.
Okay. That's
Yeah,
really amazing.
yeah.
Okay, and this is like last question for you. I just want to ask you that mm as you are in Delhi and working in Noida and all this, so how would you or what would you like to do to spread this awareness in the rural area of India? Like there is no awareness about this because
Mhm.
even people don't know what is therapy, what is mental health awareness, who is mental health professional or who is a healer. वहां पे एक ही चीज होती है जो मुझे एटलीस्ट पता है, लाइक ब्लैक मैजिक हो गया, किसी ने कुछ कर दिया है एंड एंड आई हैव सीन इनोसेंट पीपल को मार दिया जाता है या डेथ हो जाती है या उनको कंप्लीटली अलग से रख दिया जाता है कि अच्छा इसमें भूत है, इवन दो पर्सन इज गोइंग थ्रू डिप्रेशन, लाइक दे एक्सपीरियंस रिजेक्शन, सो
Mhm. Mhm. Yeah. So surprisingly, I'll tell you, there's a fact check for this. Okay. So रूरल एरिया में लोग ज्यादा अवेयर हैं, नॉट फॉर मेंटल हेल्थ, बट
हाँ।
इस चीज को लेके कि कुछ तो गड़बड़ है,
हम्म।
चलो गवर्नमेंट वाले साइकाइट्रिक वार्ड में चलते हैं। एंड ट्रस्ट मी, भीड़ लगी रहती है वहां पर कि
वाओ।
हाँ भीड़ लगी रहती है बाहर बाहर तक, क्योंकि मेरी ट्रेनिंग नूर मंजिल में हुई है, लखनऊ नूर मंजिल में।
अच्छा।
सो वहां पे आई हैव ऑब्जर्व्ड कि लोग एक एक दिन पहले से आके दूर दूर से, नेपाल, बिहार, सीतापुर, मुजफ्फरनगर
हम्म।
और भी दूर दूर जगह से आकर एक दिन पहले लाइन लगाकर बैठे रहते थे वहां पर। ठीक
वाओ।
है, पर्चा अपना कटवाते थे। एंड दैट वाज अमेजिंग बिकॉज
या।
मुझे तो ये मेरा था परसेप्शन की नहीं है, रूरल एरियाज में नहीं है इतना ज्यादा। हाँ, रूरल एरियाज में थेरेपी को लेकर कोई अवेयर, क्यों?
हम्म।
क्योंकि वो एक तो अफोर्ड नहीं कर सकते हैं उतना, और दूसरा, मेंटल हेल्थ प्रोफेशनल्स बहुत कम है रूरल एरिया या फिर छोटे शहरों में।
right.
तो मैंने एक काम करना शुरू किया कि जितने मेरे जहाँ जो मेरा होम टाउन है, इट इज़ अ वेरी स्मॉल प्लेस, वेरी वेरी एक्सट्रीमली स्मॉल प्लेस। पूरा 8 किलोमीटर्स में पूरा सिटी खत्म हो जाता है।
Oh.
ठीक है, हाँ, इतना छोटा जगह है। तो मैंने वहां पे सबसे पहला काम किया, अपनी फैमिली को अवेयर कराया।
Mm.
सबसे पहला काम कि ये डिप्रेशन होता है, ये एंजाइटी होती है, अगर कोई प्रॉब्लम हो रही है, सो यू नीड टू रीच आउट।
Right.
हेल्प सीकिंग बिहेवियर इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट। वो डेवलप अगर नहीं किया तो फिर पूरे मेंटल हेल्थ प्रोग्राम का मतलब कुछ नहीं होता है।
Right.
तो नाउ दे रीच आउट टू मी whenever they have something going on in their head। और दूसरा, कोई भी उनके पास आता है इस तरीके की प्रॉब्लम लेके कि चलो बाबा के पास ले जाए या फिर कहीं और झड़वा लेते हैं, पुका लेते हैं, कुछ भी करा लेते हैं ऑफ दैट सॉर्ट। तो जो मेरे घर वाले वो वहीं पे थोड़ा सा एजुकेट करना शुरू कर देते हैं, एंड
Mm-hmm.
दे रेफर देम टू मी।
Mm-hmm.
अब फिर यहाँ से मैं उनको जहाँ जो भी मेरा रीच है, जितना, जैसे यूपी है, ईस्ट यूपी है, या फिर दिल्ली का है, नोएडा का एरिया हो गया, ग्रेटर नोएडा हो गया, गुड़गांव हो गया, तो जिस जिस एरिया में रिक्वायरमेंट है मैं उस हिसाब से वहां पे रेफर कर देती हूँ कि
Right.
आप इस हॉस्पिटल चले जाओ, कि हम तो पैसे नहीं दे सकते हैं। तो कई बार ऐसा होता है कि ठीक है, मैं वहां पे बात कर लेती हूँ कि ये
Mm.
मेरा रेफरल है, उस तरीके से भी आई डू। और जो मेरे फ्रेंड्स हैं उस जगह के, उनको भी जब भी मैं जाती हूँ अपने होम टाउन विजिट करने के लिए अपनी फैमिली, तो आई एजुकेट देम। एंड द मेन एजुकेशन हियर इज दैट हेल्प सीकिंग बिहेवियर।
Yes.
डिप्रेशन एंजाइटी के बारे में वो गूगल पे भी पढ़ लेंगे, बहुत है कंटेंट सोशल मीडिया पे।
Yeah.
बट हेल्प कैसे सीख करना है, कहाँ पे रीच आउट करना है, दैट इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट टू टेल देम।
Yeah.
तो
Yeah.
वो मैं ऑलरेडी थोड़ा थोड़ा जितना मुझसे हो पाता है मैं करती हूँ। आई स्टिल थिंक दैट आई एम नॉट डूइंग दैट मच विच आई शुड बी डूइंग, क्योंकि इतना ज्यादा रूरल एरिया है कवर करने के लिए, बहुत सारी चीजें कवर करने के लिए हैं, तो वो हो नहीं पाता है। बट आई एम लुकिंग फॉरवर्ड एंड आई होप दैट आई डू दैट इन फ्यूचर।
Definitely you will do. I wish you luck for that. The kind of work you're doing and connecting with people, already you are putting a lot of efforts towards the rural area and all. This is really amazing. Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much for joining us and sharing your journey, your experiences. And I hope this will help for the listeners also who are really would like to differentiate between like the therapist and the mental health professionals and where should they reach out for the help, correct people, like बहुत सारी जगह पे ऐसा चलता है कि हाँ हम ये करते हैं हम वो करते हैं बट आई हैव सीन that people just take money and it doesn't help and then it becomes like a belief कि इनसे कनेक्ट करने के बाद कुछ भी नहीं होता है you know ये सिर्फ बातें करते हैं और ये होता है so I would really feel that it will help a lot of listeners and people who so they can reach out to you who are seeking the mental health. Thank you. Thank you so much.
थैंक यू सो मच, थैंक यू सो मच, ठीक है।